Well, welcome to the channel. My name is Isa. Thank you for being here. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, wow, episode 5 just dropped. We will be getting right into it. Spoilers ahead. And we are looking at the end of this amazing season. We don't know if there's going to be a season 2. I am holding on to the fact that it was stated that we would have a satisfying ending. I don't know how they're going to wrap this up in one episode, but I've seen many shows do this really well. So I feel like it's going to be great. It's going to be satisfying. And it might even, dare I say, leave a door open for season 2. So let me know what you think in the comments if you think we're heading towards a season renewal. Okay, so the episode, I really want to spend time with Jadis's arc. And that opening scene, I know many people were thinking it would be another character. Honestly, like when I saw Gabriel, I was like, yo, this makes sense. This absolutely makes sense. Of course, if we're going to see Jadis's demise, it would, to give that character justice, to complete her arc, I think it was a great move, honestly. I'm guessing this is after everything happened at the end of The Walking Dead. So I'm not really sure of the timeline. I'm not going to really talk about the timeline. I'm going to talk about the story here, the arcs. This is perfect for Jadis / Anne / Trash Girl. Wow. To introduce somebody in the story or reintroduce somebody in the story that has had a connection with Anne / Jadis. The way that this was set up in the episode was really, really cool. Pollyanne gave us a very complex character, and I felt myself really the entire time, if I'm being honest, I'm rooting for her, as the antagonist. But she was a complex antagonist, so it was really hard for me to hate her. Even though I really didn't like the choices that she was making. But this episode really helped me understand where her head was at and what she believed. I mean, clearly she had lost a lot, and clearly that grief, that loss of community, her meeting up with Gabriel was about her trying to get connection, to be with somebody that she felt like she could be herself. And it was so hard to watch because I knew it was coming, especially with the setup with Gabriel in the mix. I didn't see it any other way. We've seen this character for so long. They gave her a proper send off, and I just want to say, Pollyanne McIntosh, thank you so much for showing us the complexity of your character, the nuance of this survivor in this kind of world, this undead world. You were a hero and a villain, and all the in-betweens of that. You were gray. And for making the Walking Dead universe history, you showed us a lot. I'm gonna miss her. And it was really sad to see her die. But I loved that as she went out, as much as she took so much from Rick and Michonne, she gave them a symbol that would tie them even closer together. And that was beautiful. Like these little moments like that this show, this series, this season has been able to execute in such a beautiful way that makes it just, man, I feel like the writing did not leave any crumbs. Let's just say that. It just made her exit even more hard. For me personally. Let me know what you think. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there glad that Jadis is gone. I really was rooting for her to kind of join forces with Rick and Michonne and go after the CRM. I knew it wasn't going to happen. She was pretty dead set on what she wanted. And even in the exchange with Gabriel, you could tell she was struggling, but she was determined. And she got herself to believe that the CRM was the answer. There's a lot of themes in the series. The sacrifice that these people are making for the CRM, Jadis, just crazy. Like, to think that if Michonne didn't find Rick, where he would be probably be a combination of Jadis, Okafor, and Thorne. So, I mean, Okafor chose this CRM over his wife. Jadis chose the CRM over Gabe. Earl gave up and didn't go after her love and stayed over the CRM. There was a park scene in this episode, and there was a sign, and the sign read, "Protect the park from the people from the park, and the people from the people." That kind of also gave me a clue. I mean, we knew they were going to go back to CRM. I mean, it's too easy to have them not go back and just, trick on by and head back to Alexandria and have their reunion. Even in the second episode, when Michonne gets into the CRM and you can see her kind of looking at this vastness of the CRM and what they're about and their whole operation, and she's holding in her hand Nat's lighter, Danger. That was just like, oh yeah, she's gonna try to burn all of it down. And there's a lot of fire symbolism in this. And so I feel like that's how this is going to end. Things that need to burn in order for them to be reborn. Rick's story of his dad burning the farm, the lighter, even the opening credits, like there's fire everywhere. And that has been a theme in the show. And I feel like that will be a theme in episode 6. The other thing is people are a resource. We've been hearing this. The episode opens up with a man walking in the forest. A helicopter kind of cruises by. This person turns their head, and that's when we see Gabriel. He ends up killing a walker, and he's praying. And so it feels dark. It feels, if there's a lot of spiritual elements to this, we also see him asking the Holy Spirit to cleanse the water. So that kind of makes me wonder if the reason why he's praying is because of the gas that the CRM uses to rid a city or people. I think Gabriel is wanting to save Jadis, wanting to help her, cares a lot about her. I mean, we saw that in season 9. He was trying his best to save her, to get her to do good. And it was an episode of Confessions. Gabriel and Jadis's meeting every year was about her, I don't know, like a cleansing of some sort of the things that she's done, needing to be around someone who knew her, who knew Anne, someone who maybe wouldn't judge her. An episode of Confessions, we see Rick and Michonne, they're driving through a town with The Good Life by Frank Sinatra playing in the car. It feels very reminiscent of the episode of where they're venturing out for guns, and it's so cool. We see Rick looking at the image of Carl. It just feels good, to see them together. They're together now, but obviously, the world's going to come after them because this is The Walking Dead. Give me a break. Going back to the theme, we see that Okafor chose the CRM, Jadis, the CRM, Pearl, Thorn, who knows? Probably the CRM at the end of the day. All of these stories that people choose the CRM over love, over what's right, and they've all led to their destruction. But then we have Rick and Michonne, and they're choosing love. And it almost makes me feel like this series should be called the Ones Who Love. Maybe not the ones who live, but the ones who love. As soon as there was a mention of the echelon briefing, I knew that in the gathering of the CRM heads, I knew that's going to play a big part. That briefing I always thought would be a game changer. And I love the proposal push. It sounded like it was Denai's idea to push that into the story. The way Gabriel was used in that story was really great. Rick really wanting that bridge to work out and it not working out, and him having to blow it up. And again, fire, a theme of fire here. So it was just good to see that come full circle a bit. And then we get this amazing proposal. Part of it was even, and I'll read this, I saw this on X, and Rick Grimes' full circle moment here. In the prison, when Rick was hallucinating and talking on the phone, he thinks he's talking to Lori, and he says, the world is broken and I can't put the pieces back together. And Rick proposing to Michonne and says, it's a broken world, Michonne, and you're the only thing that puts it back together. Till my last breath, I am yours. I'm telling you, the writing doesn't leave any crumbs. We saw Rick confessing that he wasn't sure how to even handle being in love with his son's best friend. We saw a lot of callbacks, and even them on the road. It's kind of like their second honeymoon in a sense. And of course, they run into Jadis, and these three have had a history together. There was a lot of angst and hatred, and you took this from us. You took our family from us. Of course, Jadis is trying to justify herself and her decisions. She got axed. She got knocked out by a bed. She got into a car accident. She slowly dying in this episode. She then gets bit by a walker in the neck. It's coming to a close here, but it's a slow close, and she finally tells Rick to do what he promised he would do, and we see her demise. The whole scene of her was so sad and so great. The flashbacks, the things that she lost, all the reasoning, all the things, and seeing Rick and Michonne, going back and forth with her. There's nuance stuff going on here, it's like she's definitely like very gray. And in this world, this backdrop, there is no black and white with these characters. And if they want a future, they need to go back, burn that whole situation down to the ground. So they go back, and there's a grave site that they made for Jadis, and it has an A in it, which could mean Anne, but it could also mean that she's an A as well. And we see the helicopter kind of cruise by. They're going back to the CRM. We see Gabriel in the forest again, and he's just waiting for Jadis, and she never shows up. It was just one of those episodes that was just beautiful and great and hard. And you wanted Jadis to just not give so much to this community, and a person who was all about community, and she was yearning for something that was more solid because she was tired of losing. How do you not identify with that? How do you not identify with wanting to be a part of a community, wanting to be known, wanting to be loved, but making choices that are just wrong and that ultimately lead to your demise? It was a beautiful exit for Jadis/Anne. I think in her giving the ring to Rick and Michonne, that to me is she died as an Anne, not as Jadis. And yes, we wanted Michonne to have her pound of flesh and get Jadis. And yes, episode 6 is we're in for a treat. We have been in for a treat. These last 5 episodes have been really remarkable. I'm really excited and sad that it's ending next week. But I feel like Andy and Denai basically went to AMC and said, hey, we want to make TV history. And they have delivered above and beyond. What a beautiful set of episodes these have been. I'm still trying to figure out how I would rank them. And I will probably wait until episode 6 comes out to rank them. But my goodness, every episode has just been really, really, really outstanding all around across the board. Just really, really great. The question is now, will they go for season 2? That really is the question. And let me know your thoughts. Be sure to like this video, and we'll talk to you soon.